and welcome to my weekly video blog, and today on A Vogel Talks Menopause I'm going to be talking about, can the menopause cause nausea and dizziness? If you like my tips and advice, then please subscribe and remember to hit the bell icon so you can be notified of all my new videos. Are you fed up feeling nauseous and dizzy? If so, you're not alone. Honestly, these symptoms are really common in the perimenopause and also the menopause. They very often come individually, so you can experience one and not the other, but they very often go together. So what I thought I would do today is just to look at the situations that can cause this and what you can do to help yourself. So number one is simply the hormonal changes that are going on. It's a bit like pregnancy. A lot of women find they get morning sickness during pregnancy because of the hormonal upheaval. And it's exactly the same in the menopause. If your hormones are falling a certain way, then you're more likely to experience nausea. It can be hot flushes, and this is one of the things we've realized, is that a lot of women will have a hot flush and then develop nausea as the hot flush decreases. It can be low blood sugar level. And in the perimenopause and the menopause, your blood sugar control can be much more erratic. So your blood sugars can fall really quickly. They can also spike if you take something maybe sugary or something like caffeine. So this yo-yoing of your blood sugar levels can very quickly cause the nausea. It can be low blood pressure. So this can definitely cause the dizziness. You might find when you bend down or you look down and then you look up, if you get up from a hot bath or even just getting up from your chair really quickly, it can the dizziness can hit you. It could be inner ear problems, and one of the things we've noticed again is that some women end up with problems with their ears. It may be a buildup of mucus after an infection. It may be that the eustachian tubes are being affected by low estrogen and they may be drying out a little bit. So all of that can end up causing dizziness. It can be fatigue, when we get really tired, when our energy just decreases, and that can be a combination of different things going on can cause these symptoms. It can also be migraines. Again, one of the things we've found is that migraines can be much more common in the menopause. Some women find that they develop migraines, whereas before they didn't. And again, this can be due to all the hormonal changes going on. But again, migraine can cause both the nausea and the dizziness. It can also be anxiety and stress. And today, who's not anxious or stressed at some point? So all the hormonal changes and everything else in day-to-day life that's going on can stress our nervous system, and that can be a big trigger for the nausea and the dizziness too. And one of the things, if you're anxious, or one of the things that we do when we're anxious, is we tend to shallow breathe. So we don't just get enough oxygen to the brain, and that in itself can be a big trigger for the dizziness. So what can help here? One of the really easy things to do is try and find out what your trigger is. If you're getting these on a regular basis, and especially if you're getting them at the same time of the day, then very often there will be a trigger. So you need to look at what was going on, maybe just before they occurred. And I'm going to go through how you can help these. So very often it's, say for instance, you're not drinking enough water. If you get dehydrated, that can be a trigger. So doing a dry diary can very often pinpoint what's going on, and that will make it much easier to treat, because you know which set of information or tips that you can follow to try and ease that up. So number one is, obviously, if you're starting to feel dizzy, it's really important that you sit or lie down as quickly as you can, because the last thing we want is for somebody to faint, which can happen if you get really dizzy and also really nauseous, that it can trigger a faint, and obviously you don't want that to happen. So just lie or sit down quietly until you can get your breath back and until you feel okay to get on with things. Number 2, as I mentioned, is the water. Dehydration is a big factor. So remember, loads of water every day. And that one can make a difference really quickly. It's, just so many women come back to me, they've added extra water into their daily regime and they're really reaping the benefits from that. It could be eating little and often. If your blood sugars are going all over the place, then just make sure that you have 3 good meals a day and have little snacks in between. There's loads of tips on the website for making little healthy snacks that will just help to keep your blood sugars that little bit more stable. It's really important to get your blood pressure checked, especially if you're getting the dizziness on a regular basis. And it can happen, although high blood pressure is more common in the menopause, for some women that can lead to low blood pressure, and that will need treating just as much as high blood pressure. Manage your stress, and I know this one is easier said than done, but it is really important because stress is a trigger for so many other menopause symptoms as well, and I've posted quite a few video blogs on the stress, so there'll be links to those one. For the nausea, you can look at ginger. Either ginger tea or a ginger biscuit can often be really helpful. If you're not keen on ginger, then I don't normally recommend sweets or chocolate, but some women find that just getting that little sweet sugar hit can make all the difference. It will steady the blood sugars, and that can definitely ease the nausea. Avoid foods that can be contributory factors to the nausea. So that's things like your alcohol, your spicy foods. High fat foods as well can be a factor, your sort of processed foods, and also watch your caffeine, that's your coffee, your caffeinated fizzy drinks and tea, because they can all cause your blood sugar levels to really fluctuate quite dramatically. The other thing you can do is look at your liver, because especially for the nausea, if your liver is struggling, which it does during the menopause, just because of all the hormonal changes that are going on, and if your liver's under that little bit of extra stress, it can cause nausea, and you may find doing a little bit of gentle liver work can be really helpful. And I have a wee plan, if anybody's interested in it, on just helping to look after your liver for an extra week or 2. If the nausea and the dizziness are really impacting on your daily life, if it's happening every day, if it's happening all day, if it's really something that you're not coping with and these tips don't help, then it is a good idea just to double check with your doctor, just to make sure that there are no other underlying health issues going on here. So I hope you found this one helpful. If any of you have got tips on dizziness and nausea that have worked well for you, then please share them. We would love to hear all about them. And until then, I will see you next week for another edition of A. Vogel Talks Menopause.